Peace and welcome to an episode brought to you by Keys of Life Productions. Key of Life Productions. This is the social media movement that is bringing knowledge and information and getting us back on track with what we should be doing with these platforms. We have an expert here. Most of you who've been following health at all, you already know who this man is. He was on the front line when the AIDS epidemic was wreaking havoc. He was bringing truth and information that woke a lot of people up and put them on the true path to health instead of the pharmaceuticals. But there's so much to cover. Curtis, just give us an insight as to what we should be doing now, where you've been. Just give them an update.
Sure. I haven't been very active lately in the movement because of other personal issues, but I wrote these books here, Vaccines Are Dangerous, as well as The Secrets How to Control the Man. Vaccines Are Dangerous, really like a combination of several books. One deals with, of course, the dangers of vaccines and ineffectiveness, but it also talks about other things, about the medical establishment and why we can't blindly trust the medical establishment. The HIV/AIDS hoax, why HIV does not cause AIDS, why it doesn't even exist, and better options for people. Even deals with cancer and documented natural treatments that cure people of cancer. I mean, people who were defined as terminally ill have been cured, and I provide that information in the book, as well as how to reverse diabetes and heart disease. And so a lot of information is in the book for years of researching it. I know you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I personally have.
Exactly, yeah. and that's why I love that he's willing to go, because this is personal, but he's willing to share his story, because that story will motivate and help many others. Because, I mean, Curtis, if I may share a little bit of it, I mean, soda was one of the beverages. I mean, the stock went up when Curtis showed up at the supermarket. I tell you, he loved this stuff. But he made a brilliant transition. So for those of you who think, I gotta have that, there's other options. So just share that and all the other things you did. That recently he's lost 60 pounds, but he's on track to drop even that much more based on his practices. So please share.
I'll try and get an overview of things. Yes, I gained a tremendous amount of weight, largely due to a problem that I have with my foot. I'll get into that in a minute. But in terms of weight, everybody has addictions to certain things, and you got to figure out creative ways to overcome it without trying to go cold turkey and using willpower. That doesn't work. You got to find something that's a transition that you can feel comfortable with. In my case, one of my biggest handicaps was soda. I enjoyed drinking soda. I knew it was bad for me, but by people who are addicted to heroin or LSD or the cigarettes, I was addicted to soda. And if you do the research on soda, the chemicals in the soda do make you addicted to it. It's designed that way. It's no accident. In any event, one thing that I discovered was seltzer water. I found seltzer water gives you the same type of fizz that you get with soda, and you can get seltzer water that's flavored, like I use the one LaCroix. It tastes delicious. I didn't even think about the fact that it's no soda, and I found I can have that. I can have whatever meal I want and drink that, and it goes down. Plus, I drink my regular water, filtered water, and I store it in a copper container because it helps energize the water, makes it even healthier for you. But drinking plenty of water and transitioning from soda to seltzer water, that is one of the things that helped me a great deal. Mm-hmm. So everybody has to find a thing that helps them make a transition.
Right. Now, we jumped ahead with the transition.
Right.
Again, since you're sharing details, remember we spoke about the domino effect that led to the weight gain in the first place.
Right.
He was rendered less mobile, almost immobile, because of an injury, which was normal movement, because Curtis is a very known and established author, so he was bouncing around and doing lectures and workshops, but that put a serious cramp in his movement, so then weight and other things killed. So because others are in that situation too.
Right. Word of advice, take care of your feet. Okay, now in my case, I started developing pain in my right foot, and I really didn't know what the source was, but I was always energetic, always skinny, strong, studied martial arts, break boards in my hand, kick over my head, all kinds of things. So whenever I would get a pain, I could usually expect it to go away. This particular time, it wasn't going away. And I made the mistake that most of you who are watching this probably make, relied entirely on my doctors. I saw all kinds of foot specialists, and they would give insoles for my shoes that hurt my foot, hurt my knee. They would give me these electro stimulus type of things. Didn't do a thing. Massages, all kinds of things. Exercise, none of that was helping, and I was limping. Like every step that I took was painful, and the pain became increasingly bad. And if you reach a situation where every step is painful, what are you going to do? You're not going to walk. And so my level of walking declined dramatically. And of course, my exercise routine declined dramatically. So, I couldn't go on the treadmill or the stationary bike like I used to because it was painful. And so, because I wasn't doing those things, weight started to gain dramatically. People, one of the things that they cause them to gain weight is the fact that they don't do regular walking. Whenever you reach a point where you're not walking like you used to, your weight is going to go up. And that is exactly what's happened to me. And the thing is, another part of it, I didn't even know the point at which I was literally fat. Because, unless you're looking at the mirror or something, people don't really tell you. And it took a long time before I discovered. I looked at a picture of myself with someone, like, who is that guy? And I realized that was me.
Yes.
And some of the things that doctors would give me were not working. And I had to start doing my own research, consulting with holistic practitioners. And I found the things that, because in fact, they wouldn't give me a good explanation. Only thing I found was that they were saying it's arthritis. There's hundreds of different things for understanding of arthritis, so it didn't do anything for me. One of the things I learned from my master herbalist, Dr. Perdue, was hydrogen peroxide. He told me soak your foot, both feet, in hydrogen. I'm giving you guys secrets I wasn't going to reveal until I wrote a book about all
hold
this.
that thought. Dr. Perdue, he had transitioned a few years ago, but another master teacher, holistic practitioner that we miss daily. So Dr. Sebi, Dr. Perdue, they are in the ancestor realm, but we've had some blessings. So share some more insights you got through him. Now, you were saying there's a liquid that you would
Right. Hydrogen peroxide, he said, Dr. Perdue, by the way, everybody referred to Dr. Perdue. He was able to help them reverse their conditions.
Yes.
So he's very good. So he said, soak your foot in hot water as hot as you can get, and pour about half a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in it. And make sure you soak both feet because the feet communicate with each other and transfer the healing. And I would do that, and lo and behold, the pain would drop. In fact, it would go back to a virtual normal. The only thing is you have to do it on a regular basis, and it was like hard for me to keep doing. Soaking my foot for 20 minutes, half an hour all the time. But it was,
and you would advise folks, hey, healing still takes some work now. You gotta put in your time. So now you definitely regret the fact that you didn't stay as consistent as you should.
Precisely. Now, but what I also found that kind of supplement that was two things, well, three things actually. Magnesium, chelated magnesium, which you can get. Well, I use Doctor's Best. That's the brand that I use. Again, I'm giving you guys information I was going to only put in the book, but you're getting it for free if you're watching the show.
Just because you're watching here, guys.
Yeah. So chelated magnesium, two a day at least, or 2 to 4, 2 at a time though, and turmeric. Turmeric is very powerful.
It's anti-inflammatory. Oh,
right.
my goodness.
And magnesium, most people don't know. The majority of something like 80% of Americans are magnesium deficient. And they have all kinds of pains and things in their joints, and they don't know where it's coming from. A lot of it's due to magnesium deficiency. And so by taking the magnesium twice a day, it helps loosen up the joints and everything. And yet my foot starts to very relaxed. And now I'm able to walk a whole lot better than what I was before. And of course, when I do the hydrogen peroxide, that just makes things better. But I would say, just by doing, and also water, I forgot to mention, lots and lots of water, because your joints, think of them as a sponge. Now what happens when a sponge is dry? It's brittle, right? That's your joint. That's what arthritis is, lack of water. Now, when you drink sufficient water, like a sponge, if you fill a sponge of water, it becomes more flexible.
Pliable, movable.
Right. Same thing with your body. When you drink insufficient water, your joints will become looser, more flexible. And a lot of the pains people have in their back and legs, and you're all going to get it. You're in your 30s and 40s and stuff. If you're not drinking enough water, you're going to have those pains. So drinking a lot more water, you should drink like half your body weight in ounces. The magnesium and the turmeric are not able to walk. The pain has dropped 90-95%.
Right. This is up again. That half your body weight in water. This is the formula. Because even when I lecture, some people still haven't heard it. Whatever your weight is, let's say it's 200 pounds, you cut that number in half, which is 100, convert pounds to ounces. A person of 200 pounds needs 100 ounces a day for their body to function at its optimum level. Some of us only drink water when you feel thirst. Feeling thirst is the equivalent of a fire alarm going off in the building. You have stressed your body and your organs hours longer than you should have. You should be cycling hydration throughout your system, especially now. We're on the East Coast, New York. It's hot, it's humid. You want to be hydrated. Wherever you are, heat or moisture being pulled out, you must be mindful, and even at regular temperatures, keep yourself hydrated. So that's that half your body weight in water formula.
Right, and one of the ways you can gauge if you get enough water is by simply looking at your urine. If it's yellow, that's not good. If it's orange, that's really bad. It should be close to crystal clear.
Yes.
That's when you're drinking enough water. And detoxes also helps you to lose weight because your body uses the water to release the toxins and the fat into that water. You can literally, by drinking plenty of water, lose lots of weight.
It helps you metabolize fat.
And I tell you, I remember years ago when my foot wasn't a problem, I was in a routine, quite by accident, where I was teaching at this language school, and I lived in such a way that it wasn't practical to take a bus. It wasn't, so I walked from work to home. That was like a 10-block walk. And I also was drinking 2 bottles of Poland Spring water, the big, large bottle. And I was walking about 2 miles a day, because back and forth is a mile, and twice a day was like 2 miles. I was literally losing, because I was weighing myself every day, 2 pounds a day, regardless of what I ate. So long as I walked 2 miles and I drank 2 big things of water, I was losing weight. It wasn't like a program somebody gave me. It just was. And so water is very powerful, and you got to have some type of regular exercise. Yes. It doesn't have to be like super weightlifting. Simple things like walking.
Careful, right there. Okay.
Simply walking. I recommend everybody get an app. I have it on my phone. Steps, and you can track how many steps you walk each day. And 2,000 steps is about a mile. So you should be doing minimum mile, 2 miles, 3 miles every day, and that's going to help keep your weight off.
Right, and I want to check something else. As a fitness specialist, when numbers are out there, I like to come back, so I don't want you all to take any one thing you hear as what your particular goal is. There is a period of time where the body can lose pound, 2 pounds a day. That is not a rate of loss that you would want to continue any extended period. Losing that much that rapidly should be addressed. Now, the early stage, especially if you're immediately stopping a diet where you were consuming a lot of extra calories and you're moving at the same time, your early loss will be quick and rapid. But that should stabilize in about 2 to 3 weeks, and then more sustained loss, the kind of loss that stays off, will start to take place. That's when you see the 5, 10, and where Curtis is now at 60 and going towards 100. I just wanted to clear that up.
And he's the expert, so follow that advice. When I talked about my 2 pounds a day, that was not planned. It is what it was. Yes. I was walking that distance each day because of my job, and I was drinking the water, and it just was coming. But even, it's best to follow this advice and do it in the long term, but that's what happened. So water is powerful, and simple walking is powerful, and swimming. I go swimming at my gym several days a week. Great thing about swimming is you don't hurt any of your joints. A lot of other things, you do jogging and stuff. If you're overweight and you're older, you risk you hurting something. And then when you hurt something, because I've already gone through it, you can be out for weeks, and that sets you back. When you're swimming, you don't hurt yourself. Even if you don't know how to swim, and you just walk from one side of the pool to the other. I can swim. Even if you're just walking, since water is denser, it's more effort than walking through air, and the cool water is reducing the inflammation in your joints. So simply doing that, regularly. Whatever you do, walking or swimming, cycling, so long as you're doing something consistent.
Yes.
And you need a way to monitor your progress or lack thereof.
And let me throw this in there. Movement is medicine. Movement is medicine. Please hear that. Movement is medicine. Walking, swimming, you gotta move. That will burn the calories.
Right. I also strongly recommend, which has helped me a lot, and there's different theories on it, is I weigh myself every single day. Now, some people say you should weigh yourself every couple of weeks, couple of months, can go ups and down, which, I mean, there's a solid logic and reason to that. But you have to assess your personality. Myself, I like to weigh myself each day because if the needle goes up a pound or two, I think about what I did that day to cause it. Okay, yeah, I did have a hamburger, yeah, I had a soda, I didn't go to the gym. So I'm very much aware of the things I did that contributed to that extra pound or two going up. Likewise, and then I take corrective action. Likewise, when my weight goes down, I think about what I did that day. I say, oh yeah, well, I did go to the gym, I did drink the gallon of water I was supposed to, I did this, did that, and yeah, I gotta repeat that. It feels good. So that way, your weight, you can't have weight sneak up on you. You're not going to suddenly find yourself 20 pounds heavier because you're monitoring it every single day. That works for me. The only time that I've gained large amounts of weight is when I wasn't looking at the scale. So for me, looking at the scale every day works.
Exactly. And whatever works for you, flow with it. But for the broader audience, and even for my particular approach, again, most of you who follow us know I'm a fitness specialist, so I wouldn't want any of my clients to work with to be that closely rigidly, because so much of this journey is going to be mental and emotional, and to be so connected to something that can give you good news one day and bad news the next. A person generally already struggling with motivation, I wouldn't want to give that much to one measurement. Weight is a good measurement. A lot of people lose sight that muscle is heavier and more dense than fat, but it takes up space differently on your body. So your scale can say something at 190, and 3 weeks later of hard work it says 188, but you look in your pants is a size in a 2 down. You look in your shirt is feeling baggier in areas. So you could be losing inches that would not simply be reflected yet on the scale, because the scale is only telling you weight. So that's why I would personally say don't lock yourself in that much the process. Now, when your clothing is fit different or right before you get in the shower, I'm sure we all assess our body just to look to see what we need to do. That's the time. So the change of the shape. But again, he put something together that works for him. Stay on it, because guess what? It got the result, and you're going down the path of victory.
Right. And what he said is true. Before, early stages, when my weight would go up, it would be depressing and it could be discouraging. So you got to get over. For me, I have to get over that. So okay, I have to take responsibility for what happened. So if you can handle it emotionally, fine. If you know you're going to freak out because you gained a pound or two, then it's better to do what Mr. Smalls is saying. So yes, whatever works for you. But that's what worked for me. I keep close track of my weight. Another thing I recommend is taking advantage of the technology. Now, what I mean by that is, I have an iPhone like everybody else has their trusty iPhone, whatever other phone that you have. The apps that they have now will save your life, literally. Those who are listening to this will most likely save your life if you follow what I say. There are apps like I use IBP. I don't know what it stands for, but you can look it up, IBP. What it does is it allows you to track your blood pressure, your pulse, and your weight.
Okay, now I have my volunteer cameraman. I told him 10 minutes. He'll probably go in about 15. But brother, we're going to cover maybe 1 or 2 more points, and then we're going to wrap. So okay. give them the essentials. We're going to want your email, your contact.
Sure.
Okay, finish that point you're on.
Okay. I track. All you have to do is go to these CVS or other drugstore, get a simple blood pressure meter. You put it on your wrist, and you don't have to calculate anything. It'll tell you exactly which is your diastolic is, and your pulse. And then IBP, all you do is punch the number into it, and it will track what your blood pressure is, what your pulse is, and your weight. And it will create beautiful graphs. So I can go back 6 months, see what my pulse was, my weight was. And I've learned that when my blood pressure might go up slightly, I'm now conscious of it, and I know what to do to bring it down. I'll tell you what to do. Cinnamon. All you do is make cinnamon shakes. That will help drive your blood pressure way down. Cinnamon is great for bringing down blood pressure. I make a cinnamon smoothie, get a blender, put a banana in it, put some almond milk in it, pour a bunch of cinnamon in it, and you blend that up, and you got a very powerful drink that will bring your blood pressure down. The thing is, most people have no idea what their blood pressure is. And blood pressure can go in big spikes, and you can be in a danger zone and you won't know it. There's no need right now for anybody to have heart attacks or stroke, because you would know well before you have the heart attack or stroke that your numbers are in the red. It'll show you in the graph, and you'll know when you're in the safety zone because your numbers will be in the yellow and the green.
Right, but unfortunately. Peace and welcome to an episode brought to you by Keys of Life Productions. Key of Life Productions. This is the social media movement that is bringing knowledge and information and getting us back on track with what we should be doing with these platforms. We have an expert here. Most of you who've been following health at all, you already know who this man is. He was on the front line when the AIDS epidemic was wreaking havoc. He was bringing truth and information that woke a lot of people up and put them on the true path to health instead of the pharmaceuticals. But there's so much to cover. Curtis, just give us an insight as to what we should be doing now, where you've been. Just give them an update.
Sure. I haven't been very active lately in the movement because of other personal issues, but I wrote these books here, Vaccines Are Dangerous, as well as The Secrets That Control the Man. Vaccines Are Dangerous, really like a combination of several books. One deals with, of course, the dangers of vaccines and ineffectiveness, but it also talks about other things, about the medical establishment and why we can't blindly trust the medical establishment. The HIV/AIDS hoax, why HIV does not cause AIDS, why it doesn't even exist, and better options for people. Even deals with cancer and documented natural treatments that cure people of cancer. I mean, people who were defined as terminally ill have been cured, and I provide that information in the book, as well as how to reverse diabetes and heart disease. And so a lot of information is in the book for years researching it. I know you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I personally have.
Exactly, yeah. and that's why I love that he's willing to go, because this is personal, but he's willing to share his story, because that story will motivate and help many others. Because, I mean, Curtis, if I may share a little bit of it, I mean, soda was one of the beverages. I mean, the stock went up when Curtis showed up at the supermarket. I tell you, he loved this stuff. But he made a brilliant transition. So for those of you who think, I gotta have that, there's other options. So just share that and all the other things you did. That recently he's lost 60 pounds, but he's on track to drop even that much more based on his practices. So please share.
I'll try and get an overview of things. Yes, I gained a tremendous amount of weight, largely due to a problem that I have with my foot. I'll get into that in a minute. But in terms of weight, everybody has addictions to certain things, and you got to figure out creative ways to overcome it without trying to go cold turkey and using willpower. That doesn't work. You got to find something that's a transition that you can feel comfortable with. In my case, one of my biggest handicaps was soda. I enjoyed drinking soda. I knew it was bad for me, but by people who are addicted to heroin or LSD or the cigarettes, I was addicted to soda. And if you do the research on soda,